Hi, this is Zach Meir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Wednesday the 12th of June, starting off with the FTSE 100, which has crept back into that rising trend channel from back in January. Bear trap rebound from below the 50-day line there around 81.50. Also a bear trap from below the old May support there, 81.48. So end of day close above that 81.50 area, and we could be back to retesting June resistance through 83.71, but not getting too excited, even though the top of that rising trend channel is heading for a theoretical 86.60 target, which I suppose would be on tap for the end of next month if everything goes well. If everything doesn't go well, and we go back below the 50-day line, below 81.50, then the next area down really 80.40 or so, which was the late April support. Moving on to the DAX, and here you can see that also trying to creep back into the rising trend channel. Obviously, these things are more artistic than scientific, but it looks as though we're holding that 50-day line area, 18,300, and above that is a resistance line there, 18,700, to be broken to resume the rising trend channel pattern and head up towards 19,800 by the end of next month. On the downside, not looking for anything lower than 17,800, 900 if we do break down. Moving on to the Dow, and here the market almost exactly bouncing off the floor of that channel. Nice hammer candle there for yesterday, and looking for basically more end of day closes above that 50-day line around 38,800. If we can do that, then hopefully looking for 40,000 maybe as soon as the end of this month. Obviously the channel there going much higher towards 41,600, but let's get to the 40,000 area first. Moving on to Bitcoin, and here the picture, a sort of stable one after the dreaded test of the 50-day line around 65,600, and also the close to the floor of that rising trend channel from back in November. That seemed to be a magnet for the price action, that 50-day line. Still need to break 72,000 and the March resistance line to get us back on track for new record highs towards the upper 80,000s, but I think that most of us be happy if we just stay above 65,000 and that 50-day line and don't have to have another test of the 60,000 area. On to gold, and here the situation is that we're still within that rising trend channel, but after the double top and the failure at 2,400 to start June, the market taking a bit of time to regroup. Still got the risk of a retest of May support there around 2280. And want to see an end-of-day close at least above the 50-day line there, 23.55, to get the ongoing rally started again. Moving on to the stocks, and the sort of obscure one to start with, which is Asia Energy Impact. And here the excitement, the technical excitement, is that we're bouncing off that 50-day line 2 or 3 times, or 3 or 4 times actually, at 17 pence. Above that, we're looking for 30 pence. Hopefully later this month. So obviously looking for quite a lot more, but 30 pence the initial target there while we're above 17. On to Bluebird, and decent news today, or at least an update today. We are toying with the old target, the second target we had there around 1.5 pence. We can clear that area, then the next level up is 2.5 pence, which is a late October, late 2022 resistance line projection, heading for 2.5 pence. Ideally, obviously, we remain above recent support, 1.25 pence, after the golden cross buy signal that we had mid-month in May. Barrel oil is next, and here, if you look closely, you can see that this market is trying to consolidate above the 200-day line. That's quite significant in the sense that previously we've just had 1 or 2 day wonder spikes through the 200-day line, but this is day 3 above the 200-day line, which is impressive. And that's around the 0.07 level, looking for 0.13 still, maybe as soon as the end of this month. Obviously, there is a bit of resistance there towards 0.09, and see the shares ticking up as I speak. On to Clontarf, and here the picture is one of decent bear trap there from below the February support, 0.03. Above that, we're looking for 007. By the end of this month. Obviously there is also the 200-day line there to conquer at 005, but hopefully with the latest bear trap rebound, the shares have got the momentum to do that. Moving along to a stock which is a bit of a falling knife situation, Deltic, but just got the impression here, but it's only an impression, that the shares have overshot to the downside, hitting that support line projection there from July last year around the 7.75 pence level. Looking for the stock to maybe retest the June resistance around 14 pence and suggest, and hopefully that suggests that we have had an overshoot. Ideally also there's an end of day close above the floor of the gap there at 10 pence today as an initial starter if you're looking for a signal. Moving on to Empire Metals, which seems to be coming up with an RNS almost every day, but the chart great in the sense that we've gapped up and held the top of the gap there around 11.25 pence. Above that, looking for the shares to hit 16 pence at the top of that rising trend channel from back in October by the end of this month. On to the dish of the day so far, or dish of the week at least, Eurasia. Here we had the multiple bounces off the 200-day line, and that gave the clue that the shares could rise yesterday and obviously today so far. We got the shares in a sort of range between 3.25 pence and most likely 4.75 pence if we are lucky, and basically that is the level to beat on an end of day close basis to really get the shares taking off. What's good about the price action at the moment is the way that we are holding above the old resistance from last summer around that 3 to 3.25 pence area, and we've also bounced off RSI 50, which is one of our favoured targets. Moving on to a stock which is perhaps not quite as exciting, but has actually hit our target there, our second target there, around £3.30 or so, £3.32 in fact, the high of the day, hoping that we find support at the floor of the gap there at £2.86, and that there's no end of day close back below that to allow us to then look for 340 or so plus over the near term. Next up is Great Western Mining, where there's just a hint of a turnaround. That comes from the bear trap rebound from below the January support there at 0.037, above that January floor. Looking for the shares to probably get up to 005, which was the floor of the March gap over the near term. I think that would be quite a result given the lay of the land on that chart. Harland Wolf is next, and here you can see that we've got this potential double EU-shaped reversal, higher low there for June as well, above the old support there from pre-April at 9.75 pence, looking for the shares to hit the top of that channel there, the falling trend channel from last August at 13 pence by the end of this month. Moving on to Helium 1, and here you can see that there has been a bit of a bounce there from that January support line there, or basically yesterday's support around 52.5. Really want to see an end of day close back above yesterday's peak at 68.5 to then allow the shares to maybe get up to the 0.8 to 1 penny area. But at the moment, very early days, the main thing is that we actually hold yesterday's support, which at the moment looks as though it is a tough call. Moving on to Landore, which is a charting win in the sense that we were looking at this as a potential rising trend channel base, and the initial target there, 3.6 pence. In fact, we've gone up to the best case scenario target there, around 4.4 pence, just near the 200-day moving average as well. Obviously, we want to see how the dust settles. Resistance on the way down was around 3.6 pence, so ideally we stay above that on an end-of-day close basis. Mosman is next, and here looking for progress after the recent rally that the shares have had, and the best thing that one can say at this stage is that we've got consolidation at our previous target there around 0.33, wanting to see proper support come in there so that we can then target up to the upper parallel of that rising trend channel at 0.46 by the end of this month. Plant Healthcare is next, and here you can see that we found support at and above the old November resistance line projection target at 5.5 pence. Above that, we're looking for up to 7.6 pence by the end of this month. SRT is next, and here decent performance after that massive key reversal to the upside that we had last week. We've broken above the 50-day line at 24 pence and looking for 36 pence at the top of that broadening triangle from February by the end of this month. Finishing off with Tungsten West, which Did us proud back in April, and it looks as though it might do us proud again. Hopefully we'll have an end-of-day close above the 50-day line at 5 pence, and our target there of up to 10 pence by the end of next month, based on that July resistance line projection from last year. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.